It's time for my favourite pre-update information bits of, well, information and data, and that is the rewards totals for the November event. Something I need to point out is that by the time I've got this video out, and I may have to re-record this, I don't know, Kabam haven't confirmed who is allowed to access the Elder difficulty. Yes, it's new, but the Kabam haven't said, like, is this Cavalier Plus? Is this Thronebreaker Plus? So it really puts into doubt a lot of things. But what I can do is at least do Paragon and Thronebreaker, and it means that maybe Cavalier expectations of rewards may be differing from other players' experience. But I've got most of the rewards information that we need to do, which covers the 28-day calendars and also covers the side quest. So also something to mention is that, and I will be further mentioning, is that the particular access to the reliquary keys, access to the reliquary quests, you will need to, or you'll get them on a weekly basis, and then you'll be able to access the particular weeks of difficulty or whatever it is and however it is situated. So yeah, be patient, you will get them. And of course, we've got a spreadsheet for this month. Something to point out is that, and some people do point this out, I use a template and I build it up towards the release of events. So even though that some of the tabs, which are in the bottom left, like they say, like how the side quest works, how to choose objectives, blah, 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 blah. But it won't have any details in it yet. And that's because I don't know that bit of information, and it normally gets padded out throughout the month. So always come back to the link. I will always post links when I'm talking about side quest stuff, so it will be built out. So by the time, you know, even now, like I'm trying to get this video out, it'll probably have like how the side quest works, but I normally do that once the quest is live, because there could be some things with the information that's not entirely correct. But in any case, I digress of explaining everything. Let's get into the total. So this month is a bit of a major month. It is the time that we will receive and see the relics and also relic rank up materials. This could have a big implication to things like Cyber Weekend, but that's jumping a bit of a gun, and I need to do my Cyber Weekend rewards or Cyber Weekend predictions. But in any case, relic embers, relic alloys, and as well relics themselves. You will not be able to get 6-star ones as it seems at the moment, and it's probably something you'll chase in something like Battlegrounds in Season 3 whenever that comes out. But that's something really important to mention when it comes to you know, relics, and that is the brand new chase reward within Marvel Contest of Champions. I'll be doing plenty of videos about this, and also kind of getting you kind of, I'd say hyped for it, but I don't know if it's worth getting hyped about these things, because it's either going to have a huge implication, a slight implication, or doesn't feel like an implication as well. So in any case, moving on. But what Kabam are doing is they're putting out these particular rewards, these kind of relic items, these shards, in order to get them. So they kind of like will be like a new kind of crystal. And as we've said, we don't know until next week, until they're actually released, how they're going to factor into whether or not there's going to be a shard crystal section or a new section all about relic crystals. We just don't know, because there is another one as well. That will be the alloys. But yeah, okay. So in the calendar specifically, you will get Paragon, Thronebreaker, Cavalier, and lower. Now, I haven't mentioned the uncollected one because, well, there's nothing really of huge interest in there. But if you want to get yourself some Tooth and Claw shards, you can get 7k. Each rarity or each progression gets 7k. If you're Paragon, you get 2,000 3-star shards, relic shards, that is. And you get 500 4-star ones. You get 500 5-star relic shards, and if you're lower than Paragon, so Thronebreaker, you will get less. You won't even get a snifter of 5-star relic shards. Those that are Cavalier will get themselves 15,000 5-star shards. You won't get any kind of like relics in any kind of great amount, or relic shards. And as well, if you do the uncollected plus objective, which is a pretty standard one, everybody uncollected and upwards will get 3-star relic shards. We're going to take that information, add it right at the end of the totals. I've done in the link in the description, you can go and check it out if you want, a breakdown of all the rewards and information. And this is to do largely with the quests. The quests are kind of separated out, so we've got Elder, Legendary, Epic, Master, and Heroic. I personally am doing all the difficulties. Yes, it will cost on the energy, but at the same time, there's some stuff there if you need ISO, which when, you know, you're non-spending like myself, acquisition of ISO becomes a very important thing. I know a lot of people that will be 100%ing all of the difficulties, and especially if you want opportunities to get yourself tooth and claw crystals. The Elder difficulty is going to be the most important thing for players, especially if you're Paragon and upwards, because let's face it, you want to get yourself some of those tier 5 basics fully formed, which you get 3 from doing Elder difficulty. You get, well, not a huge amount of 6-star signature stones, but you definitely get an improvement of that with a variation of +5 and standard crystals, which is still good. 11,400 tier 6 basic fragments and 9,000 tier 3 alpha fragments. Now, I don't know if that means that we'll get the special objective for Thronebreaker Plus. We'll probably get the Cavalier one, which, you know, we'll get. But I don't know if this is a third and extra, because that would be good if it is. But if it's not, then it'd be kind of weird. But again, this is, you know, Kabam. We'll have to wait on what they're going to do with it when it gets launched. Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst, there's a good chunk at 4, and there's a good total by the end of it. And then we've got a few other spicy things, which I think one of the biggest spicy things is the volume of 6-star shards and also relic items. So we've got a good chunk of 6-star shards ranging from the legendary difficulty, which does 15,000, plus the 6,000 and a selector you get from legendary. Now, I'm not going to go talking about all of these kind of breakdowns here. I just need to take you over to the totals tab, because at the bottom of the spreadsheet, which if you look down, you will see, if you're clicking on this on the Google Drive, there's a tab that says rewards final totals. And without further ado, let's just get over there, because you want to find out if I do Elder, I do legendary, and I do all the others, how much of these relics am I able to get? Well, a slight pause from me there, because I don't know what the relic shard crystal is going to look like. Because that's the biggest problem, that it could be a case we're still waiting to get some of these really spicy amount of shards. And Kabam seem to be, for whatever reason, not given a huge amount. But saying that the crystal could be a 2,000 shard crystal. Thumbs up if that's the case, because that puts us really close. But let's have a look. If you're Paragon and below, what are you more than likely to pick up? If you're doing all the difficulties, the calendar, the objective, doesn't seem to be much on a solo event, but that's a different event which you have to kind of go over. There's some good stuff on offer for the month, especially that extra difficulty, but it means you have to grind out more to get a little bit slightly more. Any case, let's go over this. There's 227,750 tier 5 basic fragments, totaling 4, nearly 5 tier 5 basics if you do all difficulties. There is 20 6-star signature stones if you count all the crystals and the plus 5s and whatever. There's 2 5-star awakening gems, one in legendary, one in epic. There is the shards of the fragments of tier 6 basic. As I said, not quite sure if those are included or not included in the breakdown of the the event itself. There's also a 8 total tier 2 alpha catalyst. There is a 1 full and 60% of a tier 5 class catalyst. That's definitely kind of a bump up. Tier 1 alphas, there's 15, 12 tier 4 basic, 16 tier 4 class catalyst, and that includes a selector. There's 79 5-star signature stones, which are including the total of the plus 5s, the crystals, the stones, blah, blah, blah. There's 30,000 tooth and claw crystal shards, which are included in, that's everything included in the calendar as well as what's in the difficulties, which will give you 15 of the Cavalier crystals, which isn't too bad. Would be nice if there's some more, but you know, it can't be like this month every month. You know, we've got a ton this month. I think we've got 40 odd. And then there's 26,500 6-star shards. Again, if you go with the selector route, and the same thing when it comes to 21,000 5-star shards from doing the lower difficulties, which again, if you choose the selector, you'll be able to select those 5-star shards. 4.4 mil gold, very nice. I'm glad to see an extra bit of gold going into the new difficulty. And then the biggest kind of like bone of contention and the issue is the relics and the relic items. The issue when it comes to this is we don't know the lay of the land of the volume that you need, especially when it comes to lower of relics. We can probably look at what the higher of the relics are, so like I'm talking about your 6 stars here, but we don't know when it comes to the 5, 4, 3, and I think that's it when it comes to relics for champions. But in any case, there's still some good amount of stuff on offer. As soon as we know the shard breakdown, that would be fantastic. But at least to say we get 30% of a tier 1 alpha class alloy. Alloy is your new resource. And you get 10%, you get 60% of tier 2 class alloy. And then we've got things like tier 1 basic alloy fragments, 450, 375, 1400 for tier 3 basic alloy fragments, which are only available in the Elder difficulty. And then we've got the shards. And as we said, we get 4,000. I want to say that it's a 2,000 increment crystal. It seems that's the way. So it means that for those that are Paragon, they're able to get 2 3 stars and 2 4 stars relics. I assume. Don't take that as word of gospel. I assume. We'll have to see what happens next week with the update and have a look at relics. And then we've got 5-star shards, 1,500. So it could be a case that by this month you will not be able to get a 5-star relic. But it could be a case that's a 10k. Not to say it is or isn't. It's just a case of like, well, if you look how the shard system is in game at the moment, which is that it's 2,000 for a 4-star and it's 2,000 for a 3-star, then it might be a case that we have to wait 10,000. So you may not get your first ever 5-star relic until after Cyber Weekend, or not until after the end of the year. Quite possibly. Don't really know just yet. Or it's going to be something that is exclusively in the likes of Battlegrounds, which I think Kabam said that in the past. But in any case, that is that. There is a breakdown to the right, which is all about Thronebreaker. And that's relatively interesting. The only kind of real changes, and again, just to point out, I don't know if Elder difficulty is for Paragon and Thronebreaker only. We'll have to find out that. I have asked Kabam Jax at the point of getting his video recorded to clarify that particular information, so it might be on the forum post before like it goes live. I don't know with that one. But at least to say that you'll be able to get, if you are Thronebreaker, you might be able to get 2 3-star relics and 1 4-star relic, and you'll have 1,000. So you're 500 behind Paragon players in all that. So yeah, that's really it. That's been the rewards breakdown. As I said, there'll be this is a spreadsheet that is going to be a guide for the month, which if you follow the channel, you know that it's like a pack. It's a guide pack that I always update throughout the scheme of the month, especially because we've got all those Deadpool based events or Platinum Pool based events. So things like the tabs below will always be updated. So and I'll be referring back to any kind of like new thing that needs to be added and guide and pack for the month. But yeah, that's been it. That's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the support. Check out some other content which is located on screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video whenever that be. Cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.